Before we go into the video, I just wanted to request if you can click the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with the videos that we're going to be releasing throughout the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. If you click it, you get a notification straight to your phone so you don't have to miss any one of these videos in these 10 days. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, within the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, there are some great opportunities to get some good reward, and from one of the greatest opportunities is to do the Udhiyah. The Udhiyah is a sacrifice. Many of us, we know it as the Qurbaani. The Qurbaani has a huge reward, but there are some rulings that are connected to it. There are rulings connected to actually doing it, and there are rulings connected to the one who makes the intention to do the Qurbaani from the beginning of the month. He has to carry it up until the point where he gives it, or he does it. Today we will not talk about the ruling of actually doing the Qurbaani. We'll talk about that which is needed from you if you want to make the intention to do it at the beginning of these 10 days. The first thing that I want to bring to your attention, my brothers and sisters, and it's okay if you're watching this video late and you didn't know, but act upon it from this point onwards. And that is that you must withhold from cutting your hair, cutting your nails, and cutting your skin. You are not allowed to remove from your hair, remove from your skin, or remove from your nails if you make the intention to do the Udhiyah. Like a person who's in Ihram doing Hajj or Umrah, when they go to the Miqat, they put the Ihram, or they enter the state of Ihram, afwan. Then from that state onwards, they are not allowed to cut their nails, cut their hair, or remove their skin. What is the evidence for this? The Prophet ﷺ said, إِذَا رَأَيْتُمْ هِلَالَ ذِي الْحِجَّةِ. If anyone from amongst you sees the crescent for the month of Dhul Hijjah, and the 10 days have entered, now you've seen it, the crescent. وَأَرَادَ أَحَدُكُمْ أَنْ يُضَحِيَ. And you are intending that you will do the Udhiyah, you will give the slaughter, you will do the Qurbaani. فَلْيَمْسِكْ عَنْ شَعْرِهِ وَأَظْفَارِهِ. Then let the person stop, withhold from removing their hair, removing their nails. In another narration, their skin as well. So we learn from this hadith that you're not allowed to do this. Okay, question. From which time am I not allowed to do it? Is that when I wake up in the morning of the first of Dhul Hijjah? Or is it the moment Dhul Hijjah enters at Maghrib time? Because remember, Maghrib time is when you see the moon, right? Remember, the moon is always seen, the month always enters, the day always starts at Maghrib time. So you see the moon around about that time. So now, we're about to come into Asr, and it's the last day of Dhul Qa'dah, which is the month before Dhul Hijjah. So we're about to pray Asr. In a few hours, Maghrib is going to kick in. When Maghrib kicks in, from the point the Maghrib kicks in, from the point the adhan for Salat Maghrib is given, Dhul Hijjah has started. If you've intended that you want to give the slaughter, you're not allowed to remove your nails, your hair, your skin from that time onwards. That's the time it starts. Okay? Okay, question. If you haven't made the intention to give the sacrifice until halfway through the month, and halfway through the month you say, you know what? I actually want to give the Udhiyah. What do? You've already cut your nails, you've already shaved. You might have peeled your skin for whatever reason. From this point onwards, you withhold. From the moment you make the intention. Okay? From the moment that you made the intention. Okay, question I want to ask. The one who's made the intention to do the Udhiyah, second, third day, he says, you know what, I want to get a haircut. You made the intention, it's wajib for you to withhold now. And you'd be sinning if you do it. You'll say, what's the dalil that it's wajib? Al-amru taqtadi al-wujub. The default position of a command is that it shows obligation. And the default position of a prohibition is that it shows prohibition. It shows impermissibility, afwan. So when Allah commands you to do something, you have to do it. If Allah prohibits you to do something, it's haram for you to do it. Unless an external evidence shows you that it's not wajib, it's not obligatory, it's recommended, it's mustahab. Or that another evidence shows you that it's not haram, it's not impermissible, but it's disliked, it's makruh. And here we don't have an external evidence taking the command from wajib, obligatory, to recommended. So it stays upon wujub. Okay, let's just say that you had a weakness in iman, you had a moment, you disobeyed Allah Azza wa Jal, you cut your hair, you cut your nose, you did something without excuse. In this situation, what do? You make tawbah. It's obligatory to make tawbah for every sin. So you make tawbah, but you don't have to pay fidyah. Remember, the one who in Hajj, who's going for the rituals of Hajj, and they do this, they have to do fidyah for the mistakes. Well, depending on which mistake, they do different things, but they have to do fidyah. You have to give fidyah. You don't have to give fidyah. by unanimous consensus. But what you would have to do is that you would have to make tawbah to Allah Azza wa Jal. Okay? Another mas'ala that we must discuss. What if hair falls out accidentally? It's not your fault. Don't worry. Okay? You have a shower and hair falls out, it's not your fault. You wake up in the morning and you do wudu and hair falls out of your beard, it's not your mistake. It's not your fault. Okay? Don't worry about that. Allah Azza wa Jal will not test you, burden you above and beyond what you can bear. You are not told to what? You are not told to be held. You're not to be held to account for that which is outside of your control. Sometimes it happens accidentally. Okay, another mas'ala. What if out of necessity you need to shave your hair or cut your hair or cut your nails? It's a medical issue. It's some kind of necessity that the Sharia gives you a rukhsah for. In that situation, you would be allowed to remove that which you need to remove because of the necessity. The evidence for this is there was a companion of the Prophet ﷺ who, due to a state of necessity, whilst he was in a state of ihram going to Hajj, had to remove his hair. And Allah Azza wa Jalla sent down an ayah in the Quran to allow him to be able to do this. But he had to give fidyah. He had to give fidyah because he was in a state of ihram. So the scholars say the one who is doing a Hajj in a state of ihram, he is in a greater situation than the one who's been told to not do this and he's just doing the Udhiyah and he's not in Hajj. And the one during Hajj who's in a greater situation was allowed to remove due to a state of necessity. Then of course one who's in a lesser situation would be allowed to remove due to necessity also. Good. Yet another mas'ala we have to discuss. What is the hikmah? What is the wisdom behind doing the Udhiyah? The wisdom is very beautiful. You and me, if we do the Udhiyah, we intend to do it, inshallah, we're doing it for a reward. We are now resembling the Hujjaj, the people doing Hajj, in one of their rituals, because they will also give their sacrifice. So we are resembling the Hujjaj in one of the actions that they're doing. Why are we resembling them in this? Because we want the reward. It was stipulated for us to be able to do it and allowed for us to be able to do it, even though we're not a Hajj, but we're doing it because of the reward. We want that reward. So you and me want the reward that the people of Hajj get. Of course, you don't get that reward for Hajj, but you get a reward in accordance to that what you're doing. And what you're doing is resembling a part of what the people who are doing Hajj are doing. So because you're resembling them in their action for that reward, you must now also resemble them. You must now also resemble them in some of the rulings that they have to go through. They're in a state of ihram. They can't remove their nails, they can't cut their hair, and they can't remove their skin. They're having to go through difficulty. They're showing their commitment to Allah Azza wa Jal so that they can get this huge reward at the end of it. You want a huge reward as well. So you must show Allah Azza wa Jal some commitment. You must show Allah Azza wa Jal some obedience. You must show him some slavery, some ubudiyah, some submissiveness. For this reason, it was stipulated for you. You want to resemble them in that reward, or afwan, in that action for which you will get a reward, and they will get a reward. You must now also resemble them in some of that which they're going through in order to be allowed, to be permitted, to be granted that ability to do that action and to gain that reward. What a beautiful hikmah. Okay, another mas'ala comes. What if you're giving the udhiyah on behalf of your family members? Is it just you that holds back from cutting your nails, your skin, and your hair? Or do all of them have to? Your wife and your children have to as well? No, your wife and your children don't have to. It's only the one who's doing the udhiyah, who's giving the slaughter, who's paying for the slaughter or doing the slaughter himself. It's only that person who has to. So for example, if I am doing it, my wife, she doesn't have to. Unless my wife also wants to do it. So if you, your son, your child, your daughter, your wife, your husband, you all want to give a slaughter each, no problem. Then you must all individually withhold. But if you are doing it on behalf of the family members, then the family members on behalf of you doing it, they don't have to, it's only you that has to. Because the Prophet alayhi as-salatu was-salam, he would do this for his family members, and the prohibition with regards to it would not transmit and transfer over to his family members, as Imam Ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah ta'ala mentioned in his Ahkam al-Udhiyah. Good, another mas'ala that we must now discuss. What about a person who is paying for the slaughter, as in he's funding it, but he's giving someone else the responsibility of doing it? For example, you give the money to a charity, or you call a family member back home and you send them the money and say, listen, you do the slaughter on my behalf. You've made him a wakil. You've entrusted him with the affair. Some people think that, because I'm not actually doing the slaughter, I'm just funding it and I pay someone else in charge to carry it out, I can cut my hair, I can cut my nails, and I can cut my skin. It would be them that would have to refrain. Misunderstanding. As the hadith indicates, it's the one who he's making this intention, the one who man arada, إذا أراد أحدكم. After the Prophet ﷺ said, وَأَرَادَ أَحَدُكُمْ أَنْ يُضَحِيَ. Anyone from amongst you, he wants to, he intends to. It's this person that wants to actually do it. Whether you do it yourself or not, but you want it to be done, it's upon you to withhold. فَلْيَمْسِكْ عَنْ شَعْرِهِ وَأَثَارِهِ. You must hold from your skin, your hair, and your nails. Do you understand? The one who's doing the udhiyah, if he himself is not doing his own, but doing it on behalf of someone else, he wouldn't have to withhold from it. Only the one who it's being done for. And that's a very important point to understand. The final mas'ala that we'll discuss inshallah ta'ala before we conclude is, what if you've made the intention to do the udhiyah, but now suddenly you say, I want to go to Hajj. So within the 10 days after you made the intention, you jump on a plane, you go to do Hajj. This year, unfortunately, is going to be hard, except for a few people who've been granted. Pray that Allah Azza wa Jalla uplifts this calamity and from us and allows the doors of the masajid and the haramain to be open freely and for things to go back to how they are. But let's just say next year, inshallah ta'ala, or this year you have somehow the ability to go do the Hajj. You've made the intention to do the udhiyah. You can't cut your nails, your skin, or your hair. Second, third day, you say, I'm going to go to Hajj. I want to go to Hajj. You go to the miqat where you're supposed to put the ihram on. When you put the ihram, what do? You cut your nails, you remove your pubic hairs, and so on and so forth. In this situation, you wouldn't. In this situation, you wouldn't, because you've done the udhiyah. You've made the intention for the udhiyah. So you wouldn't do that sunnah. You wouldn't do that sunnah. Does that make sense? Because you are now under another commitment. And within this, we must discuss a masala. If you go and you do the umrah before you do the Hajj, you go and do the umrah. At the end of the umrah, from its rituals, is that you cut your hair. What do you do in this situation? You want to do umrah. You've made the commitment to do the udhiyah, so you can't remove your nails, your hair, or whatever have you. But it's from the rituals of umrah that you remove your hair. In this situation, you just cut it. You just cut it. Okay? You just cut it until the rest of the rituals are over, until you go and you the days of Hajj finish. You finish all the rituals, and everything becomes halal for you. And in that situation, inshallah ta'ala, you will be able to go back to normal. Okay? With that, I hope this benefits you bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey, do you mind if I ask you a question? This video that you just watched, do you feel like you learned something new, something beneficial? If so, then that's just one video. Imagine if you had access to hours and hours of Islamic studies content where you could learn more things that you could implement every day in your life that could be better for you in terms of your deen and your dunya. Now, we at Knowledge College wanted to make sure that we could facilitate that for you. But the two biggest problems that everyone has when it comes to seeking knowledge is, number one, a lack of time, and number two, a lack of finances. So we wanted to make sure there are no excuses on your end. So we facilitated for you to be able to study from the comfort of your own home by studying at your own pace with our online pre-recorded Islamic Studies Institute. And we wanted to make sure you don't have any financial trouble. So we facilitated for you to have access to all of this content for only 99p. That's right. For 99p, you can access all of that content for an entire month. And you can go through hours and hours of content that's going to benefit you in this life and the next. So what are you waiting for? Click the link below ASAP. You absolutely have no more excuses. You can study from the comfort of your own bedroom at your own pace. And all it costs you less than £1. So click the link below, inshallah ta'ala. I will catch you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.